The Browns have a game here against the Lions tomorrow. And so we will be talking about that in just 1 second. And welcome back here to Browns Breakdowns, proud partners Fanatical Elves Network, and of course, Fans First Network. But we can't also forget Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Use this referral code, yeah, right there. I keep saying you. This is a reoccurring problem. We get 15%. So thank you to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They are amazing. Best coffee you'll taste, probably in your life. If not, then it's definitely up there in the top 5. They're amazing, so thank you to them. But so talking about the Browns now, the Browns have a game tomorrow. It is the noon game, as almost every single game will be, against the Detroit Lions. And I can't say I'm all too excited about this game, not because I'm excited for the football game. I'm excited to watch my team. I feel like this is going to be another hard game. Now, again, I've been surprised before with our win against the Packers, but this team looks like it's also quite good for and so it'll be a hard game. But let's talk first here about the injury report. Let's just get that done. The Browns don't actually have a whole lot of guys out. I don't even think there's one. Jack Conklin, tackle, he was limited all 3 days. He is just questionable, but no one else is out. There's not even anyone who's questionable on the injury report. Now, the Lions are a little bit different. They have a bunch of outs and a bunch of questionables. Not anyone major, but still people. First was the inside linebacker, Zach Cunningham. He is out. Daniel Thomas, who is a safety, I believe. He is DNP all 3 days, out. Sion Vaki, running back, DNP all 3 days. He's out. Again, these aren't major players in the grand scheme of the football game, so this isn't changing the complexion of the game, but it still is something worth talking about. Taylor Decker, offensive tackle, DNP all 3 days, questionable. I assume he'll be out. And then Al Quayadin Muhammad, defensive end, is also questionable. So again, no huge guys that are out, right? It's not like they're going to be missing Jahmyr Gibbs or anything. Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? But they still are going to be missing a few players, which is going to still affect the game, though just not as much as if it was a bigger player. But I'm glad to see the Browns, knock on wood, right? We obviously don't want this, but the Browns haven't had a whole lot of injuries this year. Especially now that we're 4 weeks in and we've only had like 1 or 2 injuries, and it's definitely different to see this, especially in modern NFL where injuries feel so reoccurring. But yeah, I mean, we only have a few injuries here, so very happy about that. Can't complain whatsoever, and I'm definitely going to continue hoping that our players stay healthy throughout the rest of the year, obviously. And so this game takes place in Detroit. It is the noon game, as I said, in Detroit. So, I mean, expectations coming into this game, I don't know, because the Lions have one of the best offenses in the league in terms of outright statistics. I think they're third best offense in the league in terms of points per game. Here, I can look it up. I guess I should look this before, but let's just look up most points per game NFL 2025. So let's just see football stats here. It looks like the Ravens might be number 1. So in terms of points per game, NFL team points per game for 2025, Detroit is tied for number 2 with the Indianapolis Colts. And the Ravens are number 1. The Ravens are number 1 with 37, it looks like, being their average. But the Detroit is tied number 2, so let's just put them at number 3. So yes, that is your offense you're facing, right? Is the third best offense in the league. You could even put them second if you wanted to. But that offense is going against the best defense in the league with what the Browns have. And I think it's more or less unanimously agreed that the Browns have the best, and if they don't, they have second best without a doubt. Um, sure, we've let up a few points. I mean, points have been, but I mean, looking at it, the Ravens were the only team who really got points on us. Held the Bengals to 17, held the Packers to 10. So we've only let up 27 points if we ignore the Ravens game. And so, I mean, looking at it, this is going to be a very hard game because the Lions have a great offense, right? I mean, this offense is very good, and yes, they don't have Ben Johnson, but I think they've shown that Ben Johnson wasn't that key. He still helped, but he wasn't as important as everyone was making him out to be, to where they were going to suck next year just because they didn't have him. So it's going to be a much harder battle, I feel like, than even the Packers game. I feel like this is going to be a very hard battle, and one of the keys, right, of this game is, can your offense stay on the field for more than 5 plays a drive? Because if they can't, I feel like it's going to become another Ravens game where you're going to have the offense holding them 20 points, and you have a chance, and then you blow it because your defense gets tired, right? Your defense has been out on the field for 40 of the 60 allotted minutes of the game, and I think if this offense cannot stay on the field, right? I don't even need them to score. If they can just stay on the field for more than 5 or 6 plays a game, or I mean, that's something. And I worry about that. I think that's one of my biggest worries about this game, is the offense isn't going to be able to produce enough field time for the defense to stay rested. And by rested, I mean, catch your breath and stuff, right? But you're out there every single play, you're giving it your all. You're tired. You come back onto the sideline, and 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes later, 5 minutes later, you're back on the field, right? And I think that is a cause for what happened with the Ravens game. I think they were just tired at the end, and they just couldn't. Right? You wear them down after a while. Your body gets tired. You're sore. You get worn down. I mean, it's a very true thing, especially if the offense is meticulously moving down the field to where you're playing 12 times a drive. And so I do believe that this offense, one of the keys of the game, is going to be at least just staying on the field. I don't need them to score. I don't need them to kill the enemy team. I just need them to stay on the field for an amount of time to where your defense can recuperate per drive, to where they can go back onto the field and not be exhausted, right? And if that doesn't happen, I feel like this might become another Ravens game where you let up 41 points. But if it does happen, right, if this does happen, if the offense can just stay on the field a little longer, I think this defense is going to be very good against this Lions offense. But we'll talk about everything else, my score predictions, and any other topics I have in just 1 second after, well, if this pop up, I play my ads, or we play the ads. So we will be right back. And we are back here on Browns Breakdowns, proud partners, Fanatical Elves, fans first. We all know this. Can I change the text? Thank you. But let's finish up with this preview of the game tomorrow against the Lions by my 3 points, my 3 keys, I guess. I already talked about my first key was keeping the offense on the field so the defense doesn't get tired. Second key I have is good defensive line play. I think that's going to be very important this game in limiting the production of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I think they are very good players, very, very good players. And so it is very important, in my opinion, to really focus on the defensive line. I think this is something the Browns have done really well this year, is play the defensive line and play the running game. I mean, you look at the Ravens game, you limited Derrick Henry to 25 yards, right? You look at the Packers, you limited their running back to 30 yards. You look at the Bengals, you limited their running back. I mean, this defensive line has been really elite in limiting the rushing. And this is going to be a very hard challenge, don't get me wrong. But I think that is key too, is limiting the production of the running game for the Lions. because again, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are a deadly combo. And so this is going to be a hard challenge for this defensive line, but I think they can definitely step up to continue that. And final key, third key before we get into our finishing topics, third key is going to be run the ball. I think you want to give the ball to Quinshon more often than you want to throw it. And I'm not saying don't throw it ever. I'm mostly saying let Quinshon do his thing and get him out there and run the ball. I think that also, again, running the ball is very time consuming, allowing your defense to get a few more minutes that they might need of rest. And so I think, and I don't fully trust the pass game either. I feel like it's very iffy nowadays with Flacco and with all the things we've been dealing with. I think that is a very difficult challenge for the Browns. And hey, where's Mr. Suchan? This is my show, Jevin. This is Browns Breakdown. So Suchan is not here, unfortunately. If you want to see him, he is going to be live tomorrow afternoon for a post-game show. He has his Johnny Cleveland podcast, so if you want to go check him out, Jevin, he's on. He's got his own stuff, but this is my personal podcast. But thank you for tuning in. Even if you're asking where a different guy is, I'll still appreciate the listens. But yes, yeah, he has his own stuff, so you can go listen to him on his podcasts. Johnny Cleveland is where he'll be if you want to go listen to him. But yes, anyway, back to my topics. Key number 3 is run the ball. I think that's going to be important for the game. But let's do my score predictions. Score prediction wise, I don't know. This feels like a very hard game to predict because I feel like it could go either way. I feel like it could be a 14-10 game, or I think it could be 37-10, right? I don't know. I mean, I said the same thing for the Packers game. I guess I'm not trying to like reuse the same excuse, but it feels like there's no in between, right? Like 21-18, right? It doesn't feel like there's any in between here. It just feels like it's going to be a blowout or almost no score. And so I don't know. I think this Lions offense is going to score a few times regardless of how good your defense is. They are very good. And so I think score prediction wise, I'm going to say I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold. Browns win 24-21. There you go. Huge hot take. Browns win the game 24-21. I think this defense keeps you in the game the entire session. I think they limit the Lions to 21, and over the course of this game, you get those 3 touchdowns and you win. I'm gonna say it. I think 24-21 Browns victory is gonna be your final score. I think that's a bit unlikely, but I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to stay with it. I think that this defense coming off of an amazing game against the Packers is going to be very hyped to prove themselves, right? And I said on the Thursday show, the Finacle Elves show, the official one, that this is their proving game, right? If they can stop this offense, then they are elite, right? Because this is when at the end of the season, right? Week 18, the season's over, and you're looking back on this year. You'll point to this game specifically as this was their defining game where they separated themselves from great to elite, right? This is that game you're going to look at, or one of them, right? I think that Bengals game, week 1, was also one of those games. But I think this game right here will be one of the games where you'll look back week 18 and you'll say this is where they define themselves as an elite defense and not just a great defense. So yes, hot take, 21-24, Browns take the victory against the Lions there in Detroit. But that's all I really have for you guys. Actually, that's the wrong slide. For this episode, I hope everyone enjoyed listening to me yammer on about some random sports team. But if you guys enjoyed, tune in on Wednesday. I'll have my official post-game show. If I should be on Sunday after the game as well, my own post-game show. If you want to listen to, like Jevin said, John Suchan, he's got his own shows. Johnny Cleveland is what it's called. We have a bunch of different shows that you can listen to on this network. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters for their sponsor. So we love you all. I love you all even more than they do. Well, okay, maybe not. I love you all though, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.